kitchen. Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey.
You caught us hanging out in the kitchen. My name is R.C. Smith and welcome to Cooking with Comics. This is our second episode that we've done. Last week we did some sort of shrimp and vegetable and feta tomato sauce dish. Today we're doing a great recipe. Today we are doing Asian chicken lettuce wraps. Sounds good, huh?
Nice.
If you've ever been to P.F. Chang's, which is one of the few chain restaurants that I really dig, they have this amazing dish called chicken lettuce wraps that's fresh, delicious, a little bit spicy. Unfortunately, most places where I've lived, the P.F. Chang's are always really far away. So when I was craving it, I said, I wonder if I can make my own. So I did a little bit of research, realized that I had most of the ingredients in my house, and I've come up with my own recipe. So I think that you should copy, play along as we're doing this, and you'll be able to forget about the carryout and make it at home. Before I go any further, I want to say if there's any recipe that you want to see me make the next couple of weeks, feel free to comment underneath the video, and if I find it intriguing and interesting and delicious, I'll make that recipe in the weeks to come. Because I'm only one man, I can only come up with so many ideas, which is why I'm also doing the show with two other comics. And of course we have Mike Zimmer behind the camera. He's taping this again today. Give Mike a nice round of applause. And just so you know we're safe, just like last week, Mike did check our temperature when we came into the kitchen today, except instead of using a thermometer, he kissed us gently on the forehead. Isn't that nice? And it turns out, yeah. Either way, he's kissing something. Let me introduce who I'm cooking with today here at the beautiful Laugh-In Comedy Cafe. And thanks to them, by the way, for letting us use their facility. It's just sitting here anyway. We kind of broke in and we're taking over the kitchen. So let me introduce the comics. Joining me today is the beautiful and talented Nikki Rivers, who's also a cook in her own right. She's got a family, 2 kids and a husband, and she does a lot of cooking at home, and she posts the recipes online as well. So she's accomplished in her own right. Also to her right is the funny and beautiful and talented Nathan Wallace. And he's an eater in his own right. So
I'm the only person that asked to be on the show.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it was like 6 months ago. I said, I'm thinking of doing my own cooking. I'm in. That's what he kept interrupting. I'm getting phone calls, texts. Now? Is it now? Are we doing it now? So they're finally here. So Nathan and Nikki will be joining me. Just so you think that the only thing we're serving is lettuce. No, we're not. That's set up. You'll see what the lettuce is for in a little bit. So this is Cooking with Rabbits. It's a brand new online show. The Vegemite show. So anyway, let's get started. The recipes that we have today are very simple. We have a pound of ground chicken, garlic, green onion, can of diced water chestnuts, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, lettuce, and sriracha, which is a hot sauce. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. As usual, I've washed my hands. I've been walking around like a surgeon. So let's go ahead and get started. I know you cook, Nikki. You Nathan, do you cook?
Oh yeah, mainly breakfast for me though.
Right.
I'm a breakfast guy.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I love it. Yeah, I love the breakfast.
Me too.
All right, so we're going to be doing a lot of small dices today, mostly because these are all going to go into a lettuce wrap, and we don't want big chunks. So one of the things that I'm going to do is with both the garlic and the ginger, I'm going to use my handy dandy zester, and I'm just going to sort of make a paste with them today. So I'm going to go ahead and probably do 2 cloves of garlic. We'll see how much that's doing. Is this new? Is this a new
I've
technique?
done it, but I end up finding out that I hurt myself. Or
Well, the idea...
it gets all stuck in there.
The idea is
We get
to
ours in a
stop
jar.
grating when you get
Well,
to your
that I
finger.
get, but you know, when
Yeah,
you got
you gotta
kids and you
stop
got
getting
animals, I need a little protection.
That would be the idea. But it comes out to like a really, really nice paste. Nathan, while you're sitting over there, could you take that pan and just stick it on the flame that's sitting on the stove there, please?
There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
See, you've just graduated first year from culinary college.
Wikipedia. By the time you get over here, I'm gonna get something fried up.
Yeah.
And you know, that is actually a skill that they have people in the kitchens for.
Really?
If you go to any kitchen, they have a guy that just puts the pans
Like
on
a
the
bar
stove.
back.
That's all he does. No. I'm totally
Oh,
shitting.
okay. I told you, you told me what I said I mean. I was like, wow, all right.
All right, so look at the garlic we have here. Look how it's turned into like this really, really nice paste. So you're not going to have like big chunks of garlic when you're biting into it, but you are going to have the flavor. And I'm also going to do the same with the ginger. Do you know what a piece of ginger is called? Do you know? First of all, do you know what a whole big piece of ginger is called? Anybody? Anybody? It's called a hand of ginger, and the separate pieces are called fingers of ginger. Yeah, see?
And it's very important
Yeah.
that you're putting the pan to heat.
And it's very important to have the pan nice and hot before you start cooking. This dish is very, I mean, it's Chinese, but it's also very wok-like the way I'm cooking it. I'm cooking everything nice and fast. So if I had a big wok, I would probably be using that. So anyway, you have to peel the skin off the ginger. You don't want to use a knife. You can do it just with the back of a spoon. So I'm going to go down here, and all you're going to do is take your spoon and scrape it. And that gets the skin off like so. And we're not going to use much ginger, probably only like a piece of this. We can get rid of this. And then we take our grater one more time, and we just start grating the ginger. And you go, ooh, it smells good already.
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah, you need a little piece of that ginger.
There you go.
You want to chew on it? Would that be good? You know, it's good for upset stomachs from what I hear.
Yeah, that's delicious. I know that.
And it's good in ale.
Yeah, I like it. It's my favorite one.
Because
That's
then
what
would
I
be
was gonna add.
ginger ale.
Hey-o.
All right, look, I've been in quarantine for 3 weeks. I can't be funny all the time. All right, so there we go.
That was good enough. That was good. There's someone at home right now just laughing.
All right, so there we go. So let's get this started. We have the ginger and the garlic all ready to go. So I think we're going to start doing some cooking here. How you doing, Mike? You're on top of me right now? All right, so we're going to put a little bit of oil in the pan. Not a lot, just enough to get everything nice and heated. You can smell the oil. And then you grab your knife, come on over,
Ooh, I smell that ginger there.
and throw it in.
There it is.
That's exactly what we want. Now,
What's your temperature?
we're going to turn the flame down. I always cook in a real high heat,
Okay.
so
I'm afraid I burn it on
that's why if it's burning, you just take the pan off the stove. See how I've taken it off the heat?
Yeah, because we go.
All right, so we got that, and we got it already nice and toasted. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab the ground chicken. This is ground chicken, just a mixture of white meat. I think there's a little bit of dark meat, but it looks like it's mostly white meat. I'm going to throw that in the pan as well, and we're just going to start zhuzhing that around, as they say in foreign kitchens all around the world. So Nikki, what do you like to cook? What's your favorite thing?
Well, what I like to cook is not what my children like to have me cook. So, but my favorite probably is my spaghetti and meatballs, and my children told my mother-in-law that mine were the best, unfortunately. So she had to ask me what my recipe was. My little secret is you got to do a little half and half pork. I know a lot of people put some pork, but I do half and half
Right.
meat, half pork. And then I bake them in the oven with some Parmesan, garlic, a little bit of onion, and parsley, and then I do my little, and then I stick them in the
You
oven.
do your little what? No, that's what I thought. Excuse me while I go over here.
And then I bake them at 375 for like 20 minutes, and then I add the sauce to them after. Some people make them with their sauce, but I don't like that because the meat falls apart. I don't like a meaty sauce. I like a soft sauce, and then like there. I know it sounds weird. I like to have my meatballs and then my sauce.
I think I could speak for just about every man in the world when I say we like to have our meat on the side, just like your meatballs.
Yeah, I do my meat on the side. Some people will put the meatballs in like a tomato sauce or like hot sauce. I just turn it into a meatball. It's really
I like a meat sauce that's made with Italian sausage and then meatball on the side. So you get the Italian sausage and meat sauce with the meatball.
I can't think of that one spice that's like a little sesame seed, but it's got pointy ends. I can't, but it's some I don't know the name
Celery
of it.
seeds?
No, they're not celery, but they're like little. I can't think of it.
I've never looked at a seed.
But it's in sausage a lot of times. I don't like that. I can't remember. Caraway seed, maybe the caraway seed.
We're recording, I think.
We're recording
We got
something right
somebody
now.
in.
We're doing
recording
a
the show.
video. Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, it's shut down.
Yeah. Are you with the sit?
Delivered until you're ready to reopen. Your tanks are full.
All
Our
right.
tanks are full. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our oxygen tanks.
Have a nice day.
Oxygen tanks are
The
full.
tanks are full. We're good.
Suddenly,
Everything stays in the show.
I'm very sleepy. What did they put in? The curse you, Riddler.
That was amazing, RC.
Hey man,
He just popped in here one time and then shut the door. And yeah.
By the way, that was Wuhan John. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's a guy that's been going around from town to town lately, spreading this damn thing.
He's like,
Free oxygen.
So now we're quarantined.
you're gonna need it.
All right, so we're moving along here. I don't want to get a good brown on the chicken. A lot of times when you're cooking ground beef, you do want to get it brown. But for this dish, I want it cooked through, but I don't want it too brown because I'm adding a lot of other flavors to it. So I'm going to keep it a little bit on the lighter side. So that's coming along nicely. You guys can smell it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are you still talking about the damn meatballs?
We couldn't figure out caraway seeds. That's what it was. The caraway seeds and sausage.
It's all going to hell. Wuhan John, they're coming up with a totally different dish that I'm not even cooking. Watch, I'll be doing meatballs next week, and they'll be like, "This is my recipe for Asian lettuce wrap." All right, so it's time to start adding some ingredients. Let me grab the pan over here. This is where the flavor is going to come in. So we're going to start off with a couple of different things here. We're going to be adding some hoisin sauce. For those of you who don't know what hoisin sauce is, it's actually a fermented bean paste. And it tastes a lot
bean
like
paste.
And it tastes, which was Mike's nickname in college, by the way. He was known as Bean Paste.
I love that they're fermented in front of it.
You know. So we've added some of the hoisin sauce, which is actually sort of an Asian barbecue sauce. We're adding a little bit of soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce, just enough to wet it. We're adding a little bit of rice wine vinegar for a little tartness, and we're adding some sesame oil to add a little bottom note to it. So we're going to take it back over here to the stove, and we're going to start mixing that all the way around. Remember, we salt and peppered the chicken already, so we don't have to do that. So right now we're building on layers and layers of flavor. The chicken is cooking. We got the garlic, we got the ginger, we have the hoisin sauce, we have the soy sauce, we have the rice wine vinegar, and the sesame oil. You can see that it's already making a nice sauce underneath. You don't want it too, you don't want it too wet, however. Hey, Nathan, we don't want it too wet.
Yeah, that's not what she said. Hey,
So,
I see. I don't know how you're gonna turn that into meatballs, bro.
it's easy. You go, doot, 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 and then come on.
There you go.
I think we just got the recipe. You go, doot, 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 and there's meatballs.
I can't give away my special homemade recipe on the air. Come on over.
On the air, like we're a real show.
For some reason, RC has to drink a whole cup of vodka during this.
Zimco has just trademarked Dude.
All right, so here we go. This is coming along really, really quick here, which is good. So we have the chicken cooking. I'm going to leave it on the stove for just a second here. I'm going to go over and get the last ingredient that I want to throw into it. Actually, I got a couple more ingredients, so let me do this real quick. I'm going to add some green onions, or scallions, as they're called in certain parts of the country. And I'm going to cut them nice and thin. And I'm using 3 scallions or green onions for this. Quick, who did the song Green Onions? Quick, back in the 60s, who did it? Who did it? Dun, 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 dun. Mike, do you know who did the song Green Onions?
It's escaping me.
Booker T and the MGs. Come on.
I was just talking about that the other day. I got Booker T, no joke.
Who's Booker T?
Let's see what happens when I work with 12-year-olds. All right, so here's what we're doing. We're going to be throwing in the green onions, which looks great. And then my favorite ingredient in the whole thing, these are water chestnuts, which come in a can. I've gotten the ones that are diced, and they have a nice, they have a crunch to it, but they also have a flavor that you feel up in your nose, if that makes sense, because they're very fragrant. So I'm tossing this all together.
Oh yeah, dude, that looks almost exactly like KFC. That's awesome. It looks better though. You put more green in there, you put a little more onion in there.
And also, with a lot of Asian restaurants, they all use a lot of MSG, which is no bueno for a lot of people. It causes headaches, it causes dizziness. Everything that you do here, and one of the things that I like to stress is you can cook any dish at home, and you can control your own ingredients, which I really, really like. I know exactly what's in this dish. I know exactly how much of everything is in the dish. And it's a very healthy dish, except for the chicken. It wasn't very healthy for him or her, but for everybody else, it's a very healthy dish. One more quick little thing that I want to do before we start serving. This is my unsung hero of the kitchen. This is one of my favorite things ever. It's a radish. People think radishes are just go on top of salads. I use them all the time for cooking. And I'm going to be using this as a garnish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get it cut nice and thin. And I'm only going to use one of these, probably only about 3 or 4 pieces each. And that's going to be my little garnish in just a second here. It is all about the presentation. As they say, you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth. You know, it's funny, when I was working in TV, and I worked on all these cooking shows, and I worked with all these amazing chefs that always had a lot of really great advice, but every now and then you would get a chef that would do nothing but platitudes. You eat with your eyes, or it's the smell. And I'm standing 10 feet away trying not to laugh or roll my eyes, so they think that I'm really into it. All right, so I think this is about ready, so I'm gonna put this here. Where's my spoon? I've lost the spoon. Here it is. So this is all done. I'm gonna turn off the flame. Give it another quick stir here.
Oh, you bring the flame, all right.
Yeah.
You bring the flame.
All right. Now, if you look at the plate at our table where Nikki and Nathan are sitting, I have some Boston lettuce. You want a lettuce that has kind of a cup to it. Boston lettuce would be good, like I'm using here. Bib lettuce would be good because it has a shape to it. If you had to, you could use iceberg, but it doesn't roll up very well. But in a pinch, you could dice up the iceberg, throw this on top, and just do it as a salad if you wanted to do it that way. So, all right, so here, I'm coming over here, hot plate. So I'm gonna put a scoop right in the middle.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I'll tell you, I didn't even know this day was going to be so awesome. I see. Thank you.
glad I didn't have to make it.
I didn't eat lunch for this, so like,
It's fantastic,
you know,
yes.
I'm really happy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a couple of the
It smells awesome.
Very good.
radish eye, which is plural for radishes.
A lot of radish.
Radish eye.
Radishy.
And you put that on. You might have a little too much filling, Nikki, but if you can just go ahead and then you guys just kind of roll it up like a taco, take a big bite, and tell me how it tastes, being very demonstrative to let me know and our friends at home.
It's a little hot.
It is a little hot.
Ooh, hold on.
But Nathan, being the
got the
fire guy that he is.
I don't know if I can bite into it. It's going to be hot, but.
All right, this is
Here
good. Here we go.
Here. Actually, I'm trying to lick it first. I got to roll this thing.
Wait a minute. Woo, hot.
Is it hot?
Oh, my God.
Wow. If only I'd learned the Heimlich maneuver, I could save the poor man.
I gotcha.
I don't know it.
Very
Oh,
good.
you do? Oh, because you're a mother, so you know. Now, let me ask you this before we go any further. How do you feel about a little bit of spice?
Yes.
Do you like spice?
yeah.
Because if you want, I
I got
can
the hot
add
ones
a
on
little
those
bit
spicy.
of the sriracha to
Hell
it.
yeah.
A little
Yeah.
bit of
Hot
sriracha.
better.
Let's like,
There
can we
you
talk
go.
about this like cools down from it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I just taste heat.
Right.
Not of actual fire.
No, you taste hot.
No, yeah, I didn't hot.
taste hot.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, everybody always makes fun of me because when I'm at home, I can like taste anything that's hot. I can pick up hot pans and stuff like that. Not that I'm a professional chef, but I kind of developed those skills over
Yeah.
the
Sriracha
years.
makes it
So
good.
the
It makes it
sriracha
good
adds
anyway.
just a little
It
bit.
makes it nicer.
So what do you taste when you're tasting them? What do you taste?
Taste the poison paste.
Uh-huh.
Taste the green onion. Heat, bringing out the salt and pepper for sure.
Mm.
Got that in there.
If anything,
Chestnut.
at least people got to see me get burned.
Right.
I can't wait to watch it. I'm going, ah!
They got to see Nathan get burned. They got to see him choke. So who said we don't do stunts on Cooking with Comics?
All right,
Because
let
we
me try
do.
this with the-
So here we go. Let's go with the
Actually,
professional taste
very-
this
no,
time.
it's very good.
I'll try
I
this
can
with
taste
the-
the sweetness in the paste.
Yep. And add a piece of
Definitely the
radish.
ginger, and it all brings out and all the you want all the palate on the tongue. Very good. I'm going
You
to
know what?
definitely
I
make
was not thinking that it was going to be good with that radish.
I'm even gonna
Delicious,
try.
though.
I'm
The radish
adding-
adds that little
I'm
bit of
adding the
zing
radish.
to
I
it.
can't
Yep.
get
Dude,
the
I'm that
radish.
guy that's always like, what are radishes is a salad? What are we doing right here? 'Cause I think I'm on the salad, buddy.
Here we go.
That makes that taste amazing.
And that's one of the things that I learned working with all these great chefs over the year is to think outside the box a little bit. Because especially now that we're all stuck at home and you're cooking for the family, just think outside the box a little bit. Oh, and you don't have to be like wild and wacky and completely change the recipe, but add a little something different once in a while. A little bit of radish or a little bit of ginger or a little bit of garlic.
Kids aren't
Did
gonna
you say
eat it.
that was like these little crunchy things?
So that's water chestnuts.
That was
Water
canned
chestnuts.
So yeah, because you can't get fresh water chestnuts anywhere. So they only come in again, and they come either whole or diced. I got the diced ones because that's less cutting to
Thank
do.
you.
Open up the can, drain off the water that's in the can, and then they're good to go.
What kind of lettuce you said you used here?
This is Boston lettuce. Not that I am any fan of Boston, but I like their lettuce.
No plug intended.
I hate their baseball team, but I like their lettuce.
Is that like butter lettuce in a way?
It's sort of butter lettuce. Yeah, butter lettuce comes in more of like a cup shape,
Yeah.
but
Very good.
it's green, it's fresh, it's delicious, it's spicy, it's however you want it. What do you think, sir?
I definitely give it a thumbs up.
Excellent.
I like all the green onions in
I
there.
think my kids might eat it.
Beautiful. So just tell them it's barbecue chicken
That's exactly.
because of the hoisin, and they will wolf it down. So, all right, so that's my recipe for today here at RC Smith Cooking with Comics. I'd like to thank Nathan. I'd like to thank Nikki. I'd like to thank Mike for behind the camera. I'd like to thank everybody here at Laugh-In Comedy Cafe. It looks like we're going to be doing this for at least another month because it's until April 30th. That the president has said that they want social distancing, but we're going to keep trying to do this as often as we can. And every week, every Monday, we will have a recipe on Monday evening. Again, if there's something that you want to see me cook, I would love to hear from you. Share all the videos that you get because I want more people to see this. And we also have a virtual tip box, so if you feel like contributing a little bit something to the effort, you just go to this sign right here. These are our special effects. And if it was Star Wars, it would be like this. Anyway, my name is RC Smith. We're cooking with comics, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Stay safe. Bye, everybody. God bless.